Everyone's got a different fantasy of the kind of species they want to play. What are some of your favorite species, and how many species are in this book?
It was a very important number.
I want you to read all of them.
There was no other number.
There was no other number.
We can go through the whole list if you want.
Yeah. The answer to the life, universe, everything, 42. There was no other number. We have 52 subclasses. We needed to have 42 species. And we wanted every single one to feel like they deserve to exist. They're hitting some sort of science fiction, science fantasy, space opera trope, and that we could justify that they were distinct enough and had enough flavor. And that's why we went through a very heavy concepting and viz dev, a visual development cycle. I really want to play all of them. I don't think there's enough campaigns in my future, even for a lifetime, to play all these species.
We really wanted to hit on all of your classic themes, from classic sci-fi, classic fantasy, classic 80s and 90s retro vibes and beyond. And so, for example, do you want to play a space elf or a space dwarf? We have the Solari or the Etheron. Do you want to play a Care Bear or a Troll Doll? You can play the Zephyrsa or the Globlin. Do you want to play a classic gray alien or the cow that they abducted? You can play the Zeticulin or the Marsum, and on and on and on.
If you want to live within Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, or have a drink at Margaritaville, we have the Skedek and the Flambago, are two bird species. And so we wanted to make sure that there was a wide variety. I guess as far as my favorite, it's really hard to choose, but I think one of my favorites, when it comes to games, I'm the ultimate Timmy. I love dinosaurs. I play a dinosaur commander deck for Magic the Gathering. And we wanted to create a People of Dinosaurs where you could be everything from a Tyrannosaurus to a Brontosaurus to a Stegosaurus, all of your classic and famous dinosaurs, as well as prehistoric reptiles like your Elasmosaurus or your Quetzalcoatlus, or near reptiles like the Dimetrodon, of where really this is your super 90s dinosaur craze turned into a species that gives you the full freedom to play your favorite dinosaur, which I think we all have a favorite dinosaur.
I can't wait to play a near reptile.
And you've got things like worm folk.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you've got weird stuff.
Yes, if you want to play Space Worm James, you can play the Greeble. They are fun, they're weird, they've got big eyes, and if you know anything about the Spacing Guild in Dune, you know that there's all sorts of messed up stuff there. I love the Nematoans, which are four-armed amphibians that have blue mage-like powers where they eat things and they're able to ingest the powers and abilities and gain the features and traits of what they eat. We also have the Nilari that are another elf-like species, but that have taken on the biology, the blood of the dragon, the blood of the void worm, and have these draconic features as well as adaptations to the abyssal void.
I don't know if I could pick just one, but I think one I'll call out as a favorite is the Volcar. We have to have your classic rock guy, and we have to have your classic lava magma guy, and we just smashed it into a single species, and they can be both. They can change between one or the other, and they have elements of both. And if you're a fan of Thor Ragnarok, as I am, you know and you love Korg. He's just made of rooks, and so you got to play a rock guy, and they're just cool.
And of course, we have to have dogs. People who play D&D have been screaming for years, I want to play a dog. And we're finally giving you the dog species. They're the Laika, as a nod to the legendary Cosmo dog. She lives on in Neon Odyssey as a whole species where you can play your favorite canine pal, any dog breed in a humanoid form, and you get to choose between 3 different lineages. So if you want to be the big scary guard dog, you want to be the show dog or the emotional support animal, or if you want to be the tracker and sport dog, you can play your dog of choice. And they all want to be a good dog. And I think everyone, surprising even me, the popularity of the Uzoid. I didn't know and maybe, I mean, I've been on the internet long enough.
You should have.
I should have known.
You should have known.
That everyone loves the slime people. We wanted to have them be very different from the amoeboids of Spelljammer, where these aren't necessarily like these living amoebas that can turn into like 1 inch. These are people that happen to be made of goo. They still have a brain and eyeballs and a nervous system, and they have this kind of jelly-like membrane. But they are shaped like people, like humanoids, and although they can kind of squeeze through 1-foot gaps, because they still got to fit their brain through, and a very much Y2K futurism aesthetically, and all of the blobjects that came with that period for all of my aesthetics enjoyers.
3 hours later.
There's the Rhizo, which is one of my favorites. I play Ko. She is a Rhizo. These are an Oni-like species that have the power of the storm within them. They have the power of rain, of lightning, and of thunder, and they share the world of Thundercats. Ho of the Claudaren are very martial-focused, warlike feline species that are more kind of humanoid people with cat-like features as opposed to just your average tabaxi.
And I'll throw out one more favorite species, and that's the Bitling. You know, given all of our references and homages to classic 90s and 2000s video games, we've all seen the rise and fall of the animal mascot, from Sonic the Hedgehog to Banjo and Kazooie to Crash Bandicoot to Croc and beyond.
A Bubsy.
Bubsy, Sly Cooper, we could go on all day.
Gex.
Oh, Gex, you gotta give it
Enter
up for
the
Gex.
Gecko.
But this species is from Arcadia itself. This is our most fey species. And they are so transmutable. They can be any type of animal you want. I'm currently playing a pug Bitling named Grumly, who wants to sniff them out. And they collect coins, and when they drop to 0, they can drop their coins to stay alive. They can create a checkpoint and teleport back to it. We have a ton of fun flavor. We have one of 3 lineages. We had to kind of represent the broad range of animal mascots, and we did this through the swift, soaring, and strong archetype. So you can be a flyer and you can grant flying and maybe pick up or give another ally flying.
Interesting.
You can be really strong and you can climb and you can break objects and knock people back. And then finally, you can be super swift and go really fast and then go really, really fast.
Gotta go swift.
And you have to go swift.
Gotta go swift.
You must go swift.
You must go swift. I love that. I also want to give another shout out to 4 species, our discordant species, that are all humanoids that have been corrupted by the powers of cacophony to change their biology and grant them this fiendish power of the discordant. And we have 4 different species that represent the 4 tones. We have Motlians for your demonic jesters and clowns. Chuckles the Clown is really, Chuckles the key to all this.
Classic.
And started this, we had to have your space clowns, your killer clowns from outer space. We have your fiendish bug humanoids that have to have the jaws that open up and spit acid. I feel like that's pretty classic. And then sexy space vampires. I mean, what, you can't beat that. Literal energy vampires, you don't have to bite them. We've all worked with energy vampires, and we figured that's also an area that you can't escape. And then also the Terminox that are these unstoppable, relentless machines that are not just the Anatron, which is our living robot species, or the Isotron, which is our hard light digital species. These are demon machines. They're equal parts metal and hell itself. And the cool thing about these species is that they start as humanoid because you've been corrupted from a humanoid, but as you reach level 5, you need to make a choice. Do you embrace the fiend, change your type to fiend, and then gain a very selfish power? Or do you stay humanoid and gain a power or feature that is more beneficial to your allies? And that, I think, is a really fun thing that we've decided. So there's a fun narrative there to tell for the discordant species.